Take a slow breath. Now imagine a night so silent that every sound feels heavy. The land is calm, the sky is still. Darkness spreads like a blanket over the hills, and in the middle of that quiet, a single voice rises. It is not the voice of a king. It is not the voice of a priest. It belongs to a simple man, a man who works with his hands, a man who cares for animals and fields. This man is Amos, a shepherd, a caretaker of herds, a worker who trims trees to survive. Nothing about him seems powerful. Nothing suggests he carries a message that could shake a nation. Yet something inside him burns, something that refuses to stay silent. Because God speaks to him with clarity. God calls him from the fields into the heart of a nation that believes it is untouchable. Amos listens, Amos obeys, and his journey begins in the deep silence of the night. Israel looks strong. That is the illusion. Markets are full. Trade routes are open. Wealth flows like water. Merchants count coins with proud smiles. The elite live in stone houses decorated with luxury. Music fills their nights. Festivals fill their days. Temples stay crowded. Worship looks beautiful on the surface. Yet beneath the beauty, something dark grows. Injustice rises. Courts twist truth. Judges take bribes. The poor are crushed. The weak are ignored. People chase pleasure without guilt. They speak the name of God, but their hearts stay far from Him. Amos walks through this world with eyes that see what others refuse to see. He hears the cry of the oppressed. He notices the silence of the guilty. He feels the weight of a nation drifting into spiritual blindness, and God commands him to speak. Not softly, not gently, but with words like fire. Amos begins to speak. At first, people laugh. They say he is dramatic. They say he is only a shepherd. They say he does not understand politics. They say the nation is fine. Amos keeps speaking. His voice grows stronger. He warns that God is tired of empty worship. He warns that songs without obedience mean nothing. He warns that offerings given with corrupt hands are rejected. He warns that judgment will come if the nation refuses to change. Leaders mock him. Priests tell him to leave. Merchants call him foolish. Rich men say he is jealous. The people ignore him and return to their routines. Buying, selling, singing, sinning. Amos feels the sting of rejection. Yet he does not stop because he knows the truth is not his message. It is the voice of God carried through a man who never asked for this mission. Visions begin to strike Amos with force. He sees a swarm ready to devour the land. He sees fire falling. He sees God measuring Israel with a plumb line, testing, checking, revealing imbalance. He sees a basket of summer fruit, beautiful on the outside, but ready to spoil. Each vision carries a warning. Time is running out. Israel stands on the edge of something dark. Amos prays for the people. He begs God for mercy. For a moment, judgments are delayed. But the nation does not change. They keep their habits. They keep their pride. They keep their idols. They keep the injustice alive. God lets Amos see the future. Armies from far lands marching toward Israel. Walls falling, cities burning, families taken captive. Music replaced by silence. Hope replaced by fear. All because the people refused to listen. Amos speaks again. His voice shakes the air. Let justice roll like waters. Let righteousness flow like a mighty river. He pleads for change. He pleads for truth. He pleads for hearts to awaken. But the people remain deaf. Leaders grow angry. They accuse Amos of spreading fear. They warn him to stop or suffer. Yet Amos does not hide. He does not soften the message. He stands firm like a tree near deep waters. He declares that a real messenger speaks only what God commands. Destruction finally arrives. Soldiers invade. Fires rise. Screams fill the streets. The wealthy lose their treasures. The leaders lose their power. The temples fall silent. The nation collapses exactly as Amos said. Every warning becomes real. Every prophecy becomes truth. And the land that once felt proud now lies in ruin. The story of Amos reaches our time like a whisper in the dark. It reminds us that God warns before He acts. He calls before He judges. He speaks before He moves. But He does not force anyone to listen. Israel ignored the cries of justice. They rejected mercy. They silenced the truth because the truth made them uncomfortable. They trusted wealth more than God. They respected rituals more than obedience. They loved pleasure more than righteousness. Their fall was not sudden. Their fall was the result of years of pride. Amos teaches that a nation collapses, not when enemies rise, but when hearts grow blind. the message remains. When God speaks, do you listen? When He warns, do you respond? When He calls, do you turn back or turn away? The darkness of Israel stands as a mirror, a reminder that ignoring the voice of truth is the first step toward ruin. And the choice belongs to every heart. Before you leave this moment, stay still for one breath. Let this message settle inside you. If this story touched your spirit, let your voice rise with ours. Touch the like button so this truth can travel further. Join this house by pressing subscribe and walk with us in every new message that God brings. Share this video with someone who needs a warning, a calling, a touch of light in the middle of their own darkness. Your action keeps this word alive in the world. And do not miss the next video that will appear on your screen. It carries a new message, a new moment, a new call from God that can speak deeply to your heart. Stay with us, walk with us, and let the truth guide your steps.